Stop bleeding your energy into places where it will never be returned. Stop negotiating your worth with people who have already decided not to value it. The moment you realize this truth, something inside you wakes up, quietly at first, then all at once. Most of your exhaustion isn't from hard work. It's from emotional debt, from replaying conversations in your head, from explaining yourself to people who aren't listening, from shrinking your ambition so others don't feel uncomfortable standing next to it. Here is the uncomfortable truth. People who don't care about you are not confused. They are decided, and your suffering begins the moment you refuse to accept their decision. Napoleon Hill wrote that the mind is a magnet. It attracts what it dwells upon. If that is true, then ask yourself, what are you attracting by obsessing over indifference? What future are you building by pouring thought, emotion, and attention into people who offer nothing back? Great men and women throughout history learned this lesson early, or they paid for it dearly. Edison was mocked before he was respected. Lincoln was ridiculed before he was remembered. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination before he built an empire of dreams. None of them stopped to convince the doubters. They stopped feeding them, because here is the law that governs all progress. Energy flows where attention goes. The moment you stop stressing about people who don't care, you reclaim something priceless: mental clarity. And clarity is the birthplace of power. You were not put on this earth to be understood by everyone. You were put here to become something precise, something disciplined, something aligned with your highest vision. But vision cannot survive in a noisy mind, and a noisy mind is always crowded with the opinions of others. Belief is fragile in its early stages. Hill called it the seed of achievement, and like any seed, it must be protected from harsh weather, from careless hands, from voices that trample before it has roots. Every time you stress over someone who doesn't care, you expose your belief to frost. You delay your own becoming. Understand this clearly. Indifference from others is not a verdict on your value. It is a test of your focus. Most people fail this test. They mistake attention for validation. They chase approval instead of purpose. They allow rejection to become identity. But the disciplined mind does something different. It asks a harder question. Is this person aligned with where I am going? If the answer is no, the mind releases them, not with bitterness, not with anger, but with precision, like trimming dead branches so the tree can grow taller. Stress is not caused by events. It is caused by resistance to reality. Reality says some people will never see you. Reality says some people benefit from keeping you small. Reality says not everyone deserves a front row seat to your journey. Once you accept that, peace begins. And from peace comes strength. This is where purpose sharpens. When you stop monitoring who cares and who doesn't, you begin listening inward. You hear the quiet voice that has been drowned out for years, the voice that knows what you're capable of, the voice that whispers, "You are wasting time." Time is the one resource even the wealthy cannot buy back. Carnegie understood this. Ford understood this. They guarded their attention as fiercely as their capital. You must do the same. Discipline is not only about waking up early or working longer. Discipline is emotional restraint. It is choosing not to react, not to explain, not to chase closure from people who never opened the door in the first place. The disciplined mind says, if you don't care, you no longer get access to my inner world. And something extraordinary happens when you make that decision. Your energy consolidates. Your vision intensifies. Your actions gain momentum. Stress evaporates because it no longer has permission to live inside you. You begin acting instead of overthinking, building instead of explaining, growing instead of proving, and slowly, almost invisibly, you step into a higher frequency of existence. Let people misunderstand you. Let them doubt you. Let them walk away without explanation. Your destiny does not require consensus. It requires commitment. The moment you stop stressing about people who don't care, your mind becomes a sanctuary, a place where ideas grow unpolluted, where confidence compounds, where action feels inevitable, You no longer beg life for signs, you become the signal. And one day, without announcement, without revenge, without noise, you arrive. Stronger, clearer, unshakable. Not because they finally cared, but because you finally chose yourself.